So basically, yeah, I just got back from town and I'm like pooped. Whew. Okay, I just want to talk about something that I wanted to talk about the other day, and it's something that comes up a lot, and it's something that I get asked a lot, and I just want to like blow myths out of the freaking water with it. Okay, so for anyone who doesn't know me, I work in the arts. So I work in theatre a lot. I facilitate workshops, kind of creative workshops, from youth theatre to t-shirt making to art to storytelling to improv to drama, movements, kind of a whole variety of things, right? So something that people ask me all the time is how can I be so creative all the time, and that they would find it really difficult to be that creative all the time, right? And I run a theatre company as well with my friend, and we create a lot of, like, we regularly create quite a lot of work, and I think there's always this thing of, you know, how can you consistently keep being creative, like it's supposed to be some like limited vat that you can just start taking things out of. When you get to the bottom of the pot, that's all, that's it, it's gone, right? So the first thing that's really important about creativity is that there's no right or wrong in creativity, because it's all down to perception. Everyone sees things differently. Everyone has their own kind of life goggles on. Everyone perceives things from a completely different point of view than everybody else, because we're all individuals. So therefore, in order to say that one thing is creative is correct and one thing that's creative is incorrect, basically defeats the purpose of creativity. And it's something that I say to my youth theatre kids all the time, when they're creating, is that there's no wrong answer when it comes to creativity. And that actually, that mentality, that's like, it's kind of psychologically ingrained into the way we speak, or into the way we think even, is that everything has to have a right and a wrong answer, right? At the moment, I am on the festival circuit with a local theatre group, and on the Amateur Dramatics Festival circuit, there is there's adjudications, so it's a competition. Every individual festival, every town that has their own festival will have their own adjudicator, and they will choose people to go on to win a series of prizes, and they can choose people to go to the All Ireland national finals as well. But the point is that at all of these there is an adjudication, because it is a competition, right? And I was talking to someone today about the adjudication, and one year there was this particular adjudicator who apparently can rope people up the wrong way, but he was giving his public adjudication, so there's like a public adjudication in front of the audience at the end of the play, and then he sits down with the group afterwards and kind of goes through all the individual things, like the acting and the directing and the individual skills and talents, whatever, and gives feedback and kind of constructively to move forward. And apparently this one year, this group actually disagreed so much with the adjudicator's opinion, that the whole group got up and walked out. Like, what? Which, okay, totally entitled to do whatever. But my point is that it's just an opinion, right? There is no... People say to me all the time, oh, I can't draw. That's because the idea that you have of good drawing is what has been conditioned into your brain from doing art at school, or, you know, whatever is perceived as being good drawing, you know. And a lot of people perceive good drawing as realistic drawing. If it doesn't look like a photograph, it's not a good drawing, but that's just a specific style. So there's this whole idea of what is right and wrong creatively, and what is the right skill set and the wrong skill set. I think it was Picasso said that every child is an artist, and he went on to say something along the lines of, the trick is staying an artist when you become a grown-up, and that's really hard, because through the education system and through the world that we live in today, we're basically conditioned to have a right and wrong answer for things, and that bleeds into kind of stifling our creativity, and it does stifle our creativity. It stifles the way we think. So I think it's just really important when people ask or people think that they're not a creative person. Every person on this planet is just as creative as the next person on the planet. It's just that some people tap into it more regularly. Yeah, it's like a muscle. Creativity is a muscle. It's like going to the gym, right? You go to the gym. Someone who goes to the gym all the time is going to be much stronger and much more able to lift 100k or whatever than someone who never goes to the gym or does any sort of physical exercise. Whereas, if you go, so it's the same as creativity. It's a muscle. So the more regularly you practice your creativity, the more regularly you kind of tap into that, whether it's through reading or free writing or free drawing or throwing paint at a wall or mucking in with an amateur dramatics group or going to an improv class every now and again or whatever it is. If you're tapping into that creativity on a regular basis, you're growing that muscle, and you will find it easier and easier to suddenly access this part of your brain that is creative and will release these kind of creative thoughts. And I think the biggest fear that I've come across with people is the fear to start because of being wrong, right? If you're afraid to make mistakes, you'll never create anything original. Somebody else said that. I can't remember who it was. But if it's true, if you're afraid to make mistakes, you're never going to create anything original, right? So I studied drama, theatre design in college, right? And we had this habit every now and again, we'll make up our little model box of the theatre space that we're supposed to be designing for, and we'd kind of be looking at our model box and we just sit there and we stare at it, like expecting some inspiration to come to us. One of the greatest lessons probably that one of my lecturers taught me was just to start, put a piece of paper into the model box, put a little chair in there, put a paracetamol box in there, put a freaking hairbrush in there, whatever, put something there to start so you can go from somewhere, whatever it is that you pick up that's closest to you. So the fear of being wrong is so great that it prevents us from starting in the first place. And it's that preventing us from starting. If we don't start, how are we ever going to get to a level of regular spontaneous creativity? How, if we never go to the gym and we never go to that first class, we're never going to be able to lift 100k, right? And it's exactly the same. You start doing something creative. It doesn't matter about right or wrong. There's no such thing. Everyone has opinions, but there is no wrong in art. There's no wrong in creativity. So it's just starting. Yeah, and you don't have to show anybody. It can be the little thing that goes into your drawer and no one ever sees for the rest of your life, or whatever. But yeah, there's no right and wrong in creativity. Everybody is as creative as everybody else. There's no level of who is more creative than another person. It's just whether or not we've tapped into our innate talent of creativity. Everybody has it, and it's just whether or not we've actually tapped into it. And when we tap into it and we continue to tap into it and we continue to practice it, it will start to flow more freely and flow more regularly, and you're gonna create some amazing stuff. So yeah, if I have any advice for anybody, it's once a week or every day if you can, do something creative, whether it's just doodling for 5 minutes, half an hour, whether it's colouring in one of those, those really cool colouring books. Spend 20 minutes just colouring a colouring book and accessing that part of your mind that is creative, whether it's free writing or just writing your journal every night. I write a journal almost every night, not every night, almost every night. And it just makes my brain kind of tick over in a different kind of way. It makes me look at things differently. It makes me think about things differently. And when we start doing that, we start tapping into that deeper thought process that feeds our creativity, that kind of fuels our creativity. So yeah, just do something creative every day. Do something random and fun and spontaneous with your friends, or with your family or whatever. And the more you do it, the more creative you will find yourself. And remember, there is no right or wrong answer. Everybody is going to have an opinion on something. My dad is the worst. He's the best. He's the worst. He came to see my show at Christmas, which it was the first time I properly like co-wrote with someone. And he came to see it, and I had like almost 40 kids and grown-ups on stage. It was like beautiful costumes and, you know, nice little pieces of set and really nice writing and moments and songs and dances, and it was really like big panto style play, right? And at the end of it, my dad's like, yeah, alright. The projections were amazing. Yeah, that's your opinion. Great, they were amazing. But there was a lot more to it than just projections. So everyone's going to have an opinion. And I think if we always if you want to get better at certain things, you want to start accessing certain things, there's certain opinions which are really useful. But at the end of the day, it's all just opinion. It's all just someone else's opinion on you and your work, and what you create. And at the end of the day, you can take it or you can leave it. You don't have to actually listen to anything that anybody else says about your creative value, because your creativity is valuable, and it's really important that everybody accesses it in some way, shape or form, and develops that muscle, because it just changes the way you live, changes the way you think, and makes the world a more beautiful place. So yeah, that's my tuppence worth. I just wanted to say that, and I hope everyone's having a fabulous day. I gotta go and I'm looking at my clock over there. I have to go and do shit, like grown up stuff. Adulting sucks sometimes. Have a wonderful day, everyone. Be creative. Bye from the unicorns.